Hey everyone, welcome to the Faith and Fandom podcast. This is the Artists Alley Aftermath edition for Empire Comic Con 2022. This is a third year show that takes place in Springfield, Georgia, and it's changed shape and location a little bit over the years. But if you want to check it out, you can go back and listen to some of the interviews with the showrunners from before the show even started as they were preparing on through. But the show is run by Hugo and Amanda Soto, who are some Artist Alley friends I had met along the way on the con journey. And they're really cool people. Sorry, I'm breaking things on my desk. Okay, cool. Good talk. They're really cool people, and they've been really encouraging to me and my family over the years. And bottom line, because they're my people, I'm going to show up for this show, if at all possible, for as long as possible. But it's also a good show, and it's a good hometown, vibe in Georgia. And it's kind of like it's in the proximity of Savannah, but also you don't have to deal with the city aspect of Savannah, and you still have a good crowd with that. So it was a good show. It was a good experience. But as I stated, this is my third year doing the show, and their big ticket guest this year was Veronica Taylor, who is the voice of Ash Ketchum, and also April O'Neil in the second iteration of the Ninja Turtles cartoon, and she's one of the Sailor Scouts, but I know nothing of Sailor Moon, so I'm going to keep my mouth shut on that. But yeah, good experience. My daughter Bella and I went down there, and Bella has voiced that she doesn't like doing podcasts, and so she didn't want to do it. So I'm not going to make her do that after already spending a weekend with me on the road. But yeah, my daughter Bella went with me, and she was great company and a great help. So I appreciate her with that. But as we were on the road, we headed down to Georgia on Friday the 21st. Yes, Friday the 21st, which was a bit of a frustration to me because I've been waiting to play the game Gotham Knights because I'm a Red Hood person, and straight up GameStop or the company in general decided to drop the game 3 or 4 days early. And instead of coming out on the 25th when it was supposed to come out, it came out on the 21st. And I couldn't get the 9 o'clock or midnight release because I was at Black Adam. And I was a little salty in my soul that I was missing out on getting my video game. But whatever. It's good. I'm playing it now when I can. But we headed down, and it's just if you are a traveler by nature, you might be familiar with Buc-ee's. So the giant gas station that's the size of a Walmart, and the smorgasbord of PR and marketing they put forward. Buc-ee's is an hour into this journey, so that's always a fun stop. It's one of the first places we hit up, and got gas and everything. But we headed on down, and one of the cool things was it took us off the interstate through this covered, picturesque Legend of Bagger Vance style Savannah area where the trees are like intertwined and overlapping over the roads and everything. And we drove by where the PGA Tour was happening. So just some cool stuff with that. It was a good experience just on the drive and hanging out with my daughter, getting some good quality time with her. But we got down there, and as I was about maybe 30 minutes away from the show, Hugo sent me a text and asking me if I would do a panel, and which we hadn't planned on that, but we're down for the cause, and so we said yes, and or I said yes. I'm still talking in like multiples here. I said yes, and that we would do that. We should have unloaded, and took our time unloading, and this was one of those things. Hugo makes it very inexpensive for a vendor to set up at this show. But also it comes with bringing your own tables sometimes. There are tables there available, but if you can bring them, it's better to bring them just for their workload. And not an idiot, but I did not realize that the table I grabbed was 5 foot instead of 6 foot, and so I grabbed a table that was too small even for my small setup. But I'm luckily had a little end table that I brought with me as well, so we duct taped together a table to be 6 feet. And also on that, I forgot to bring duct tape, and I try never to forget to bring duct tape. And so I held the banner on my table by the old duct tape that was stuck to the back of the banner. So super classy. But we had a bunch of candles that we had just made since the last show in Hickory. I didn't have enough candles there. But it was a really good experience just getting set up, chilling and hanging out. Last year when we went down to Empire, my daughter and I went to this restaurant called the Chocolate Martini Bar and restaurant bar, and it's like everything's kind of infused with chocolate, and they had some dessert that had cannoli filling, and I love cannolis, and so I was like, oh, we're gonna go back to this place. So we got set up, and we went to the Chocolate Martini Bar, and I'm just gonna say the service was really, really bad, and we waited about 20 minutes and never even got to place an order for a drink. So I don't normally just poop on things or be super negative about stuff, but I was really disappointed. And what was crazy was the table beside us was literally bringing the manager over to complain about their stuff. And the manager saw us sitting there knowing we hadn't gotten anything and still just walked away. So I was like, I'm out. But my daughter really wanted to try she wanted to get fish and chips, and she wanted to try lobster. And so she wanted to do seafood. My family doesn't normally do a lot of seafood because some of our family is allergic to seafood. And so she and I went to a place called Slapfish. And we just had a bad experience at the Chocolate Martini Bar. So we walked into Slapfish at 8:20. They close at 9. I think that's a 40-minute window is like fairly okay to get in and out of a restaurant. We got to the thing, and the lady said, "Sorry, we're only, or, just let you know." And this is just a professional etiquette thing. She was talking to me while having both headphones in, looking at something on her phone, and it's just like it made me not grumpy, but I just I'd had not a great food experience. And then she said, "Just let you know, we're only doing takeout orders." And my petty self, I just wanted to like turn around and walk out. So I literally took about 3 steps. I stopped and I turned around and I was like, "Listen, we've had a long day. We've traveled very far. We're staying in a hotel tonight, and I'd rather not have the smell of fish in my room. Will you please let us eat in here and serve us, and I promise we'll get out by closing." And she said, "Okay." So that being said, we ate at Slapfish, and I got my daughter a lobster taquito, which is very cheap, surprisingly. And I got her some fish and chips, and we hung out and talked, and just had a good experience with that. So thank you to the nice lady at Slapfish who was kind enough to reconsider and let us eat in your restaurant. We went to the hotel after that. Now, also, when I got to the hotel, and I'm going to go ahead and give a big shout out to the Wingate by Wyndham in Port Wentworth, Georgia. I walked in, and the lady said, "So listen, we ran out of your room." And after my food experience, I was just like real close to like collapsing point emotionally, and just with tired and everything else. And she said, "So my manager decided just to upgrade you to a suite and to let you know that." And so I was like, "Oh, well, that's actually quite a pleasant turn of events considering the direction things have been going as of this trip so far." And so we got a suite that was like literally 2 whole rooms, king size bed, couch, 2 TVs. Like there was a walk-in closet that was bigger than probably the last hotel room I stayed in. So that was nice. And yeah, that was good. So we all kind of just got settled in and sat down and watched Almost Famous because my daughter Bella has never watched that one, and I just went to see it on Broadway, so she was really interested about why I cared so much, and which I appreciated. Kicked off the next day. Also, shout out Port Wentworth, Georgia's Wingate had good coffee. And on our way out, we left my massage gun in the hotel room, and they held on to it until after the show was over. So again, Wingate by Wyndham in Port Wentworth, Georgia. All the slow claps for you. You were wonderful. Got to the show and set up, and it was a good, just typical show day. There was traffic about the whole time. Smelled delicious because there was dudes outside grilling and selling stuffed turkey legs with mac and cheese. Like, the turkey legs were stuffed with mac and cheese. And Hugo, being the salesman that he is, walked around to each booth, letting everybody see it and smell it. And it was a good experience for that. I meant the smells was good and everything else. We were next to nice people, and but I was across from a lady called 8-Bit Persona. And I know I know a lot of the vendors' names because I did the graphics for their Facebook and their socials. And so 8-Bit Persona was across from me, and she had, perler bead art and some paintings and stuff like that. And I was really excited because she had a black canvas perler bead combo of the "It's Dangerous to Go Alone, Take This" with Link and the sword and the old man and the flames. I really wanted it. But because this is a smaller show and travel expenses and everything else, I don't normally consent to buy things until the show is over, because I need to be responsible financially when it comes to con purchases. Because the reality is, I've been a professional nerd for about a decade now, and I can't really put anything anywhere else. I'm out of space. And so I have to be selective with that. And as just watching her booth, and it was really cool. And there's different stuff down the way. There's like a Build-A-Bear type setup where people were actually stuffing stuffed animals and keeping them, and there was just cool stuff all around. There was a masseuse. Let me see if I can pull up that lady's name. There was a masseuse there who was there last year, but this year she was in cosplay. And she was cosplaying as Wonder Woman. And so it was just pretty cool to have a professional masseuse there on the con floor. And you can get a massage from Wonder Woman. I just think that's a smart selling point. But it's Christina Thompson from Barnes Family Chiropractic. Just did a great job. And also the massage was great, but also she just did really well wrapping it with the Wonder Woman thing and everything else. So there's good experiences. There was a gaming area. There are a lot of Pokemon cards being sold, which was smart because Veronica Taylor was the main guest. And from everything I saw, Veronica Taylor had consistent, busy table time the whole time as well. I didn't get anything signed or anything by Veronica because I'm not saying that she's not special, but we've been around each other a bunch, and she's always just really sweet and encouraging. She gave my kids one of their best con experiences years ago, when my kids were first starting to watch Pokemon and Pokemon Go was getting going. I had her sign a Pokeball for my kids, and she knelt down with my daughters, told them to close their eyes, and did the Ash voice and told them, Rosabella Carmen, I choose you. And that's one of their favorite sweet memories. And so I appreciate Veronica every time I'm around her. And I went to tell her hi and thank you and everything else. And but then one of the fun things is they had a cardboard cutout of, not a cardboard, sorry, it was wood. They had a wood cutout of Ash, Wobbuffet, Pikachu, the little lightning flying squirrel, but it was where you put your heads through it. So you could put your head through Ash and put your head through Wobbuffet. And I was standing around waiting for someone to come by to take a photo so I could have them take a photo of me and my daughter, and nobody was around. So I asked Veronica Taylor if she would take the photo. And I was like, I know this isn't normally what people do when they take photos with you, but would you mind? So she was a total sweetheart and took mine and Bella's photo together, which is, if you are seeing a graphic of this anywhere, it's that photo. But overall, it was a really good experience, just even getting to talk to Veronica for a little bit. And, I just enjoyed the whole show experience as a whole. One cool thing was also Empire Gym that was in that area had a bodybuilder uh, painted green as the Hulk, and also one of the ladies that was with him. So that was fun. It was just a good vibe throughout the room the whole time. And but checking through my photos, make sure there was a cool Bowser cosplayer, and I think that might have been the best cosplay there, to my opinion. There was a lot of intricate work with the scales; it just looked really cool. One of the other ones was there was two teenage kids dressed as Walter and Jesse, which cracks me up. One of my favorite bits of the internet is a YouTube video called Breaking Bad, the Middle School Musical, which is literally if a middle school had put on a musical of the story of Breaking Bad. And this really, really reminded me of that. So that made me smile. Overall, though, the panel was at 11 o'clock that morning. We only had a few folks at it, but it was a good conversation. We had one lady who was messaging me, as the morning was starting, asking about times because she was trying to make it up, but she didn't make it up in time for it. But we did have a good long conversation at the booth afterwards. And met a couple parents that were really excited about what we were doing as a ministry, which is always honestly one of my favorite things. And for years, we were referred to as as a parent's favorite booth at a show. And if that's the badge of honor we get, then by golly, I'm okay with it. And that was good. But we had one guy that was just really excited and really encouraging. Then another dad and grandparent came by and got really pumped about the books, and they ended up buying everything book wise. Like they bought 2 through 8, the children's book, and Faith and Fandom Junior. And they're buying them for their 11-year-old's, I guess, Christmas or birthday. But it was just a really good experience to actually be able to be a part of that, and just their attitudes with everything with it were just really cool. Another just a neat addendum to it is the fact that this venue was right beside a giant playground. And so when Bella would get bored or hot or whatever else, she could literally just run outside and play on the playground. And I appreciated that as well. Then there was also a young lady who was really, really excited about the TARDIS shirt. And then every time she came back by the booth, she saw another thing that she had missed that she got really excited about. And the VeggieTales stickers are a hit. Like we made Everybody's Got a Water Buffalo and Oh, Where's My Hairbrush, and those were big hits with some of those folks. And just overall, I had a really good experience. Had some really solid conversations and encouragement, and was able to point a lot of people to it. And honestly, the fact that all the chapters are free on the website now really makes it a good experience. I was happy to, at the end of the show, be able to talk with Hugo and Amanda and know that they did good. That this was a good experience for them, and I valued that. Another just really cool highlight, the 8-bit Persona lady. As I mentioned, I was looking at her painting thing that I wanted. We were wrapping up. We were about to start cleaning up, and she came over to our table. She was dressed as Luigi, by the way. If you see the photo on our socials, she came over to the table and asked if she could buy the ampersand shirt, the comics and Jesus. And I said, counter offer. And I know this might be a little financially not in the same price range because my shirts are 15 and her painting was 30. I said, would you be open to trading that shirt for that painting? And she's like, absolutely. And she brought it over. And I also gave her the ampersand sticker as well, but she was getting the shirt for her mom, and I was really pleased with myself to get the painting, and Bella was shooting me all the smirks about it. But she went over and FaceTimed her mom and showed her the shirt, and you could hear her mom audibly really excited about it, and that was just really cool thing with it. So overall, great experience. No complaints about how the show went. I think I'll be super honest. I haven't checked how we did financially. I think I ran out of maybe book 2. which is weird. But I also I'd made a bunch of the Nintendo or the PlayStation controller candles, and almost all of those went. So I was glad I stocked up on that. But it was a good experience. Had a panel, great conversations, got to encourage some folks overall. There was a mom that wanted a book for her son, but they were short financially, and we were able just to give them that. And a lot of that does come from the fact we have really dope Patreon supporters that help with all the financial costs that come with this. And I'll say this, and I don't want this to sound like woe is me or anything, but I had a conversation about our financials as a family, and I realized that had I not had Patreon supporters at this point in time, I wouldn't have been able to financially actually do this show this weekend, and so that's just super dope. Knowing that we have those that love us and care and support us in that way. So let me give a shout out to Alicia, Alicia. I don't know if I've said your name out loud, but Miss Benson, Glenn, your whole family, whatever. I love y'all. Candace Davis, Jay Sheed, Jillian, Jason Crutchfield, Mike Perna, Todd Turner, John Jacobs, Zach Harris, Caleb Grimm, Jeanette Skaggs, Chris Poirier, Chris Cook, Jason Bullock, Christina Ray, Sarah Lewis, Patrick Gale, Rebecca Godlove, and Adam Davis, and all of you for just being such cool Patreon supporters and helping make this just be feasible and possible. And Hugo and Amanda said that the show next year will most likely be in November instead of October, probably like the first week of November or so. So I'll keep you posted on that, because I will, again, be doing my best to be there for that. And yeah, grateful for the experience. And we have 2 shows left for the year. We will be at Grand Strand Comic Con in Myrtle Beach in Thanksgiving weekend. And we will be at a Lumberton Mall show on December 17th, maybe 18th as well. But yeah, so this is the review, the wrap up for Empire Comic Con 2022, and hope to see you at a con soon.